Alright guys, so today we're doing 3.2 day 3. This is all about graphing. So you're going to go ahead, pause the video, and start with the warm-up, and then when you come back, it'll be ready for you. So my degree, 1, 2, 3, is 3. My leading coefficient is 1. The end behavior, well, I have an odd and I have a negative. So my end behavior is going to be like this. Okay, there's my mini sketch. And as x approaches positive infinity, my function approaches negative infinity because it's coming down. And as x approaches negative infinity, my function approaches positive infinity because it's coming up. Okay? To find the x and y intercepts, you're just going to go ahead and solve. So because it's already in factored form, it's really helpful to find the y-intercepts. I put in a 0, so 0 minus 1 times 0 minus 4 times 0 plus 2. Okay. This I get negative 1 times negative 4 times 2. This will give me 4 times 2, which is 8. And then your x-intercepts is where each of those equals 0. So x minus 1 equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. Here I'd get x equals positive 1, x equals positive 4, and last but not least, x plus 2 equals 0, x equals negative 2. So I can go ahead and plot those. Negative 2, positive 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then an 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Okay. I know that this is a negative odd function, so it's going to come from this direction. Oops, let's fix that. Well, this is odd. Let me graph this really quick, because this doesn't look right. So if it doesn't look right to you, always plug it into your calculator. X minus 1 times x minus 4 times x plus 2. That's because I had it going the wrong way. This is a positive function. There's no negatives. Don't know where I got negative from. So that's our function. Okay. The next part, graphing a polynomial, having polynomials in factored form helps us to identify the x-intercept. This is helpful because it helps us to then go ahead and find our leading coefficient. It's helpful to find leading coefficient and degree so that you know what your end behavior looks like and about where your graph goes. And because I got that wrong, I got these wrong. These two should be flipped because they're going these directions. Okay, graph the following. I'm going to do example 1. You guys do number 2, and we'll go from there. Okay, So the first one, we have a degree of 3 because there's 1x, 1x, and 1x. Our leading coefficient is positive 1, so it's an odd positive function. My x-intercepts are going to be at -2, 1, and 3. My y-intercept is going to be at, so this would be -1 times 2 times -3. That's if I plug in zeros. So I end up with -1 times 2, which is -2, times -3, which gives me +6. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -2, 1, and 3. And then it is an odd and positive. So when I sketch my end behavior, it's kind of like this. So it's going to be similar to that last one that we did. Okay, you guys do too, and then I'll put your answer up. Then factor first and then graph. Excuse me. So these are pretty nice. I'm gonna let you guys do B, I'll do A, and then like I said, I'll put the answer up. I'm gonna go ahead and factor by grouping. I'm gonna take out an x squared. So I'm left with, actually let's take out a negative, because that will make them, there we go. So we get x minus 1, and then I'll take out a 4, and I get x minus 1 as well. So then I get negative x squared plus 4, and x minus 1, and then negative x squared would be negative x plus 2, right? Yeah. And x plus 2, and then x minus 1. There it is in factored form. My degree, we can look at the beginning. I get a 3, -1, so it's odd, a negative. My x-intercepts are going to be -2, 1, and 2. And that's if I, again, plug in zeros. So it'd be -0 plus 2 times 0 plus 2 times 0 minus 1. 2 times 2 times -1. 4 times -1. This will give me -4. Okay, I can go ahead and graph. Negative, there we go. This is going to come this direction. Oopsie, doesn't come back up. Okay. So now you guys factor B. I'll put the answer up, and then we'll go from there. The next important part here is our intermediate values theorem. This is basically saying that if there's a value, if the graph crosses between two whole numbers, there's going to be a 0 between them. Okay, so this is how we can, this here should say x-intercept. Okay, So basically what we do is we take the function and we want to know if there's something between 2 and 3. We just plug it in. So we get f of 2 equals 2 cubed minus 2 times 2, minus 5. 2 cubed we know is 8, minus 4 minus 5. So we end up with 8 minus 9, which gives us negative 1. Do the same for 3. So we get 3 cubed. Oh my goodness. 3 cubed minus 2 times 3 minus 5. We get 27 minus 6 minus 5. 27 minus 11, which gives me positive 16. So because we went from a negative to a positive, we know that yes, there is a value, there is an x-intercept between them. Okay? You guys do the next one, and then I will put the answers up here. I do want you to know that there is down here, right here, repeated zeros. So just like here, how it has x minus 2 squared, that means something happens there twice, okay? So what we then look at is we say, okay, well, x minus 2 squared equals 0. You're going to square root to get rid of that square. So you get x minus 2 equals 0, right? And then add 2 to both sides. X equals 2. Now, what that means is that there's going to be a bounce there, okay? On the other side, we get x plus 1 equals 0. Subtract the 1. We get x equals negative 1. So when we graph these, at negative 1, the graph is going to go through it. And at positive 2, it's going to bounce. So it's going to look something like this. I'm just going to make it general. So it goes through here. And it bounces here. Okay. You guys do B and C, and I will do D here. Okay. With D, we've got x plus 1 cubed equals 0. So we're going to cube root both sides. So I get x plus 1 equals 0, minus 1 minus 1, x equals negative 1. Okay. And then x minus 4 equals 0. Add 4 to both sides. Oh my goodness. X equals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It is positive, so it's kind of going to look like this. Okay. Where it does go through at each of those intercepts. Okay. We are going to skip 5 and 6 because I want you to see down here. This is probably, when it comes to the repeated zeros, this is what I want you guys to know right here. Please make sure that you have this written down. This is our long story short. So that is it for today. We will talk more tomorrow.